Hey guys, this is a follow-up video to the blog post I posted a while back about sorting a Google spreadsheet. Knowing how to navigate and sort Google spreadsheets is really important to a lot of us teachers, as we usually get our data or score results or test results in a Google spreadsheet, and being able to manipulate that so you can look at specifically the students you want or the grade you want, or if it's a map test like the data shown, it's the strand that you want. One issue with sorting, though, is if you don't do it correctly, you could actually mix up student names and scores, and then that's going to make your information or your conclusions not correct, because you might say that Johnny Smith got a score of 300 when actually he got a score of 200, but because you sorted it wrong, we had the wrong name with the wrong score. So hopefully this video will help you learn how to sort Google spreadsheets, feel really confident about it, and be able to do it consistently. So the data I have in front of you is actually my school's map data. I've blacked out student names and ethnicities and gender just to kind of keep those things private. But I will be able to show you the rest of the sorting process. So the first thing I like to show, it's always my go-to, is this button kind of up here in the top left corner. I call this the magic button. And the reason I call it the magic button is it's your safe go-to whenever you are sorting. So when I click this button, it's actually going to highlight my entire spreadsheet. By highlighting the entire spreadsheet, it's going to keep all the names with their specific scores or genders or test duration, or all the information in there is actually going to stay in the correct order. Now I can change that order, but the names and scores will stay together. What happens if I had by chance just highlighted, let's say, columns B through H, because I wanted their name and their test writ score. So if you look what I have highlighted, if I just sorted those columns, all these other columns over here would stay put, and we'd actually be switching all of these columns around. Therefore, you'd be getting the names with the writ score would stay correct, but the names with all these strand scores would actually be wrong. So that's why we always go up, and we're going to choose that magic button up in the top left corner that will highlight everything. So always start here. Once you've highlighted, you're actually going to go anywhere in your spreadsheet, and you're going to right click to bring up that menu, and then you're going just a little bit south of the middle to sort range. You're going to click sort range. You get this new box and screen that pops up. If you have a header row, which is typically the first row in your spreadsheet, it basically is labeling all the columns. You want to make sure that you check this data has header row box. You'll notice that that changed the sort by here. So now instead of, and I'll uncheck it to show you, if I didn't have a header row, it would only label them column A, B, C, and on, whereas now that I have a header row, it's just pulling in the titles from row number 1 in my spreadsheet. So currently my spreadsheet is ordered 6th grade to 8th grade and then low to high. So what they've done is they're compounding your sorts. So I want to change this. I want to actually see 8th grade at the top of my spreadsheet. So we use this A to Z and the Z to A. Even though they have letters, if it's sorting a number item, A to Z means low to high, Z to A means high to low. So I'm actually going to choose Z to A because that means it'll go 8th grade, 7th grade, 6th grade. But then I want to sort, so I choose the add another sort column. It automatically brought one in. And then I actually want to see, instead of scores low to high, I want to see scores high to low. So I chose on the then by, and it brings up that list, and I'm just going to go choose their writ score. It's their overall main score. And then I'm going to choose Z to A again, or descending. So it's going to start with the highest score, and then it's going to go down to the lowest score. Now, the order of this sort does matter. It's going to sort by grade first, and then Z to A. So 8th grade, 7th grade, 6th grade. And then within each grade, it's going to sort by writ score, highest to lowest. So it'll be 8th grade, highest to lowest, and then 7th grade, highest to lowest, 6th grade, highest to lowest. As you add sort bys, you'll notice that the first one says sort by, and then it says then by. So as you continue to add the then bys, it is going to compound, and it's going to try to organize them in the order that you've asked it to. So I'm going to go ahead and see how this one turned out. If I click sort, now I'll notice over here it is 8th grade, and then my scores are going from highest to lowest. Another thing that I like to do when sorting is I might add another row. To add another row, I'm just going to right click, and I'm going to add mine to the left of A, but if you want to add it in the middle, you click wherever you want to add a column. If I right click, it brings up my menu, and I'm just going to choose insert one left. What I might use this for is if I want to keep track of my students, I might type that in here, and then I could go through and put an M for Miss Markison, and then maybe my co-teachers or the other math teachers might go through and put the letters for their name as well. So if I have these students, I could just add M's, and then what it's actually going to do, because I'll sort it next. Sorry, just trying to get a couple M's in there. And so now I'm just going to put those. I'm going to go back up. I'm going to click the magic button up here. Get everything. I'm going to right click. I'm going to sort range. So what I might do this time, I'm going to click that header row. I want my students first. So it's going to be the very first thing that I put in there. I want my students. And then maybe this time I want my students low to high. So I'm going to do it as ascending, A to Z. And then I'm going to change that to their RIT score. And then I'm going to sort. Now you'll notice over here that it did pull all those M's for Miss Markson's students to the top. And then of those 4 M's that I put in there, it is sorting them low to high. So the rest of the items got a little bit mixed up. You'll see we have 7th, 8th, 7th, and 6th, and that's because there was no protocol for those other items. But if all I wanted to focus on was my students, I would just have these rows right here, and it's kept all their information together. I hope this helps, and I hope you've been able to follow along and that you can sort Google Sheets from here. If you have any questions, just let me know.